Welcome to the Literary Titan podcast. In every episode, we dive into a book we've just read and share our thoughts, from best-selling authors to rising literary stars. We read it. Now let's talk about it.
Stanley Livingstone's Your Story Told by Another is a layered allegorical coming of age. Jacob, a foundling guided and occasionally heckled by an enigmatic old man, and framed by a present-tense narrator under an oak, moves from childhood missteps into adult moral weather, learning that Providence may be less a cosmic GPS than a mirror held up by a sender whose identity the book dares you to recognize as your own. The plot advances by episodic steps, sometimes tender, sometimes sharp-elbowed, where everyday scenes, kites, soccer, friendships, a charismatic grand master, even a deliberately odd zombie club, become moral instruments, tuned toward the idea that what feels like fate is often an authored interior life. What I felt most strongly while reading was the book's insistence on texture over sermon, even when it's openly didactic. The old man's teachings don't land as bullet points. They arrive the way uncomfortable truths usually do, sideways, mid-conversation, when you'd rather be anywhere else. One moment, Jacob is a kid sprinting with a stolen kite. The next, he's being pressed to ask not, "What do I do next?" but "What kind of thinking precedes action?" And later, when the narration turns toward imbalance, hypocrisy, and the enemy within, I appreciated how the book refuses to make villains exotic. The perpetrator, the mirror, the self-justifier, those roles commute between them and me with unnerving ease. I also liked the framing device. The narrator's midnight debates with the snowy owl and the storyteller turn the novel into a kind of campfire argument about meaning itself, especially around scripture and interpretation. There's a provocative claim that the Quran functions less as a lullaby and more like a decoder, an awakening tool, not a tranquilizer, which gives the book a specific spiritual gravity without pretending the reader's questions are impolite. The story sometimes pauses to explain what it has already dramatized, but the closing movement won me back. The epilogue's quiet, almost fairy tale intimacy, an old man at a gate, a child's whispered secret, and the final morning after, emptiness, oak, dew, no footprints, leave you with the unnerving sense that guidance might vanish the instant you're ready to blame it for your life. Your Story Told by Another is for readers who enjoy allegorical fiction, spiritual parable, philosophical coming of age, and metaphysical adventure, especially those who don't mind being gently provoked into self-reflection. If you've ever been moved by Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, or, in a more austere register, Hesse's Siddhartha, you'll recognize the pilgrimage as mirror architecture, though Livingstone's voice is more argumentative, less lullaby, and deliberately warns you not to get lost in the metaphors. This is a strange but earnest parable that I enjoyed.
Thanks for joining us on the Literary Titan podcast. If today's review sparked your interest, be sure to pick up a copy of the book and experience it for yourself. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating, or share it with a fellow book lover. Until next time, keep reading, not just to escape, but to grow.